Home buying mistakes to avoid in 2023. Buying a home is one of the most significant investments a person can make, and as exciting as the process can be, it's also quite overwhelming. Without the proper guidance, one can easily fall into the traps that can lead to long-term financial stress. That's why we compiled this comprehensive guide for you to help avoid the common mistakes that people make in 2023 and save yourself the financial anguish that I've seen people get themselves into. So you're gonna wanna pay close attention to this. But before we dive into all those mistakes, smash that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and leave us a comment below. My name's Chris Cochran, veteran realtor, and we're gonna go over all the common mistakes that people make when they're purchasing a home and how to avoid them. Mistake number one, not getting pre-approved for a mortgage before you start shopping for your first home. So this should be the first stop on the home buying journey. This process involves providing your lender with financial information, including your income, your debt, your credit score, stuff like that. With this information, the lender's going to determine how much you can afford to qualify for, how much you can borrow, what your payments will be, and give you a budget so that you can avoid some headache and heartache by not getting committed to a property that you just simply can't afford. Mistake number two, ignoring hidden costs when calculating how much you can afford. Don't just consider the cost of the home itself. There are other expenses associated with the purchase of a home that you need to consider, such as closing costs, property taxes, homeowners insurance, and maintenance. Ignoring these hidden costs can lead to overspending and potential financial ruin in the future. Mistake number three, choosing the wrong location. Now we saw this a lot lately as people were able to work from home more, they moved further away from the city. But now we're seeing those same people having to move back towards the city because all their offices and work are starting to call them back to work. A good location can add value to your investment while a poor location can decrease its value. Consider factors like neighborhood, proximity to schools, shopping, transportation, and crime rates. Choosing the wrong location can lead to regret and longer than necessary commutes. The next mistake I see people make a lot is not hiring a home inspector. This happened a lot lately when we're in multiple offers and people had to make their offer look more attractive than others. Hiring a home inspector is a crucial step in the home buying process. A home inspector can identify potential issues with the property that could affect its value, safety, livability, and skipping this step can result in unexpected repairs and expenses that you may not be prepared to handle. Again, in this busier market, another mistake that I see people do is falling in love with the first home that they see. While it's tempting to fall in love with the first home that you see, it's essential to keep an open mind and explore all your options. Rushing to make an offer on the first home can lead to disappointment, regret, and take your time and can also take an emotional toll on you if you don't happen to get that first purchase locked up. Another pitfall of falling in love with the first home you see is that you get emotionally involved in this property, and let's say you get an accepted offer, but then you find something in the building inspection that won't allow you to move forward. You're gonna maybe need to take an emotional break from shopping for a home. Again, if you do take a good sample, get a good amount of homes under your belt as far as experience of what they look like, what they sell for, take your time. This can help avoid this emotional drain that missing out on a property can bring. Also, I see a lot of people not consider the resale value, so like an exit strategy for their property. So again, when you're emotionally excited about buying a property, you also need to be thinking about how that property is going to appeal to the masses or the next buyer so that you can move on to the next step of your life. Maybe it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. All those things need to be taken into consideration because purchasing and selling a home is an expensive, long process. Also, if you're purchasing a strata property, now I see lots of people fall in love with the strata property, but the strata fees are just through the roof. And again, those don't tend to go down, they tend to go up. So you have to be mindful of the strata fees, what they include, how long since they were last increased, what the forecast looks like for the financial well-being of that strata property. Again, these are factors to take into consideration, but if you fall in love with something that's got a $600 or $700, maybe even a $1,200 a month strata fee, this is going to put some financial strain on you. Another common mistake that we see is once a person gets an accepted offer on a property, they feel this sigh of relief and then they go out and make another major purchase like a new car, and that messes with your credit report, and so that can actually come up to haunt you just before closing. Adds a lot of stress. So again, Just don't make any changes to your credit between the time you remove subjects to the time that you move in, because it'll make for a way smoother experience. Now, the last and biggest mistake that I see people make is not choosing a realtor that they feel comfortable with. They're not choosing a realtor at all. Just happen to be going through an open house, or they happen to call a listing agent. They just end up working with the first realtor that shows up and has a heartbeat. And that can be detrimental. So again, not having a good realtor that has your back can help you avoid all the other mistakes that I mentioned in here.